Welcome to This Explainer. Let's just dive right in, shall we? Have you ever felt like you're caught in this endless, repeating loop? Like you're reading the exact same frustrating page of a storybook with your child, day after day? Well, today we're opening up a topic that is just incredibly close to the hearts of so many families out there, understanding our children's behavior. We're going to explore a really gentle, clear approach to solving the puzzle of rule breaking. We are going to look at neurodiversity not as some kind of hurdle, but as a completely unique way of experiencing the world. And most importantly, we're going to give you the tools to rewrite the story in your home. I want you to picture this scene. It's a universal feeling, really. It's 11 p.m. The house is finally blissfully quiet, but your mind is just racing. You laid the rules out perfectly clearly earlier in the day, right? No jumping on the sofa. Finish your homework before screens. Be gentle with the cat. Your child nodded. They understood. They literally even repeated the rule back to you with a smile. And yet, hours later, they were using the sofa cushions like a trampoline. As an exhausted parent, it is so easy in the quiet of the night to feel this heavy, heavy mix of frustration and guilt. It's so easy to just assume your child is deliberately choosing to ignore you. So here is the absolute million-dollar question. Why do they know better but struggle to do better? Seriously, take a deep breath right now and just let go of that guilt. Let's pivot away from the frustration and lean into curiosity instead. What if your child isn't willfully ignoring you? What if there's an actual biological gap between them knowing a rule and their physical ability to follow it in the heat of the moment? Let's look past that surface-level behavior and peer into the beautiful, developing minds of our kids. Section 1. The Rule-Breaking Puzzle. Moving past defiance. You see, the old storybook we've all been reading from tells us this tale of intentional defiance. It tells us that a child breaking a rule is making a calculated, deliberate choice to be bad or to disobey us. But neuroscience, it writes a completely different story. For neurodiverse children especially, what looks like stubborn defiance is actually an executive function struggle. It is a neurological challenge. They aren't trying to be difficult. They are genuinely struggling with the doing part of knowing better. Section 2. Executive Function Explained. The Brain's Air Traffic Control. To truly support our kids, we have to understand the mechanics of this struggle. Executive function is this vital set of mental skills. I want you to think of a super busy, bustling airport, with planes taking off, landing, and taxiing all at the exact same time. Executive function is the air traffic control tower. It's the set of crucial mental skills that help us manage tasks, plan, prioritize, and regulate our behavior. It literally prevents the planes, which are our thoughts, our impulses, and our actions, from crashing into one another. It's absolutely vital to understand that this is a structural skill set developing in their brain. It is not a measure of your child's willpower, and it is definitely not a measure of their love for you. Now, this control tower relies on 3 core skills to keep the skies safe: working memory, inhibitory control, and cognitive flexibility. Let's break down those first 2, because honestly, they are very often the biggest culprits in this whole rule-breaking puzzle. First up is working memory. This acts as the brain's mental holding bay. Imagine trying to bake a cake without being able to remember the ingredients you literally just read on the recipe card. That is working memory. When you tell a child a rule, it goes straight into this mental holding bay. But in the heat of the moment, when distractions are buzzing everywhere, emotions are running high, or maybe they're just having a really fun time, that holding bay can unexpectedly empty out. They aren't forgetting to follow the rule itself has literally slipped right out of their active memory. Then we have inhibitory control. Think of this as the brain's brakes. It's the ability to stop an automatic impulse. For a child with underdeveloped inhibitory control, seeing a soft, bouncy sofa triggers a massive, overwhelming jump now signal. Even if that no jumping rule is perfectly secure in their holding bay, they simply cannot find the brakes to stop their body from acting on the impulse. They desperately want to be good, you guys, but their neurological brakes are failing them. Section 3. Bridging knowing and doing. Strategies for success. All right, so now that we understand the brain science, how do we actually help our kids bridge that frustrating gap? Well, here are 3 highly effective, actionable strategies you can use to provide a sort of scaffolding for your child's developing brain. Step 1, externalize the rules. You've got to take the burden off their working memory by making rules visual and consistent. Seriously, a simple picture of feet on the floor placed right near the sofa works wonders. Step 2, practice stop and think. Teach them a physical signal like touching their nose, or a breathing exercise during calm moments. Doing this builds muscle memory for those neurological breaks. And step 3, use if-then planning. Pre-plan responses to their triggers. Say, if I want to jump, then I will go to the floor. This lays down a super clear alternative track for their air traffic control to follow. Section 4, Bright Kids AI Tools, Gentle Support for Daily Routines. So how do we integrate these strategies into our busy, real lives without it feeling like just another chore on the to-do list? This brings us to Bright Kids AI. It's a highly practical, beautifully designed toolkit that implements these exact neurological strategies seamlessly right into your daily routines. Let's look at their My Stars visual check-in. It uses 4 color-coded stars to help kids identify their state. You have the sleepy star, the bright star, the zoom star, and the big boom. The absolute magic here is that all 4 states are entirely okay. The goal isn't to force a child to be a bright star all the time. The goal is simply to name the feeling without needing a massive, complex vocabulary. Because when a feeling is named visually, it suddenly becomes so much easier to manage. Listen to how powerful this tool is in action, directly from a real parent. They said, if she checks in as a Zoom star, I know her executive function is stretched thin. Instead of seeing sofa jumping as defiance, I realize she needs a movement break. Do you notice the profound shift there? That parent moved from feeling defied and totally frustrated to responding with deep empathy and actual structural support. They checked the air traffic control tower before getting mad at the airplane. Another really incredible tool is personalized songs. Transitions are notorious rule-breaking zones, mostly because working memory gets easily overwhelmed. With Bright Kids AI, step 1 is you generate a short melodic song using your child's name and their specific interests. Step 2, you play it during a really tough transition, like right after school. And step 3, the song actually acts as a transition anchor. Because it features their name and their favorite things, it cuts right through the neurological noise. The music literally does the heavy lifting for their holding bay, carrying the instruction for them. It's brilliant. But hey, what about you, the parent? For those exhausted 10 p.m. moments we talked about at the very beginning of this explainer, there is Jenny. Jenny is a warm, AI-driven conversational guide built specifically for parents. Now, she isn't a replacement for a therapist, but she provides these quick 2 to 3 sentence, highly actionable responses when you are feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and completely alone after a hard day. It's like having a reassuring presence right there in your pocket. And finally, we have personalized stories. These are beautifully generated books where your child is the literal hero of the narrative, alongside all of their favorite toys and interests. Why does this matter for executive function? Because it allows your child to rehearse those vital if-then coping scenarios, like, say, resisting the urge to jump on the sofa, in a fun, entirely low-pressure way. When they see themselves succeeding in a storybook, they really internalize those skills for the real world. Section 5. Empowering every bright mind. Building connection, not just rules. As we bring this explainer to a close, I really want you to hold on to this thought. Parenting a neurodiverse child is not just about enforcing rules. It is about building essential life skills and fostering a much stronger connection with your child. When we start to recognize that a broken rule is actually a signal for needed support rather than deliberate defiance, our whole relationship changes. Your patience, your empathy, and your willingness to try these new visual strategies, these are the absolute greatest gifts you can give your child's developing brain. Bright Kids AI is designed specifically for this journey, empowering every bright mind and equipping every loving parent. By turning that daily friction into collaboration, you aren't just surviving the day anymore, you are truly helping your child thrive. So as we end our time together today, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. When you shift your view from defiance to understanding, what beautiful new connections will you build with your bright mind tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining us.